It's that time of year again. Apple has launched new iPhones and they are available now. I went out and purchased my own. We've got the brand new iPhone 16 Pro. Obviously, I haven't had enough time with it yet to do a full review, so today we're going to unbox it and see what comes with it and what's new and what's fun. Let's get started. As always, Apple does a great job of giving you nice stickers that are easy to pull off without needing a knife. In case you're wondering, I went with the desert color that's new. The Pro series come in titanium, which doesn't let Apple do as much in the way of color as the other iPhones, the regular iPhones. So they do look less vibrant, but I think this brown one's gonna be fine. Two stickers off, get it flipped. We'll see if Apple's done a better job on suction this year. Here we go. Yeah, so you look at the front and they show like what the front of the thing was, but that's the wallpaper and you think it's gonna be a deep, dark brown that's gonna be lovely. But then you actually get to the phone and this is the problem with titanium. It's very hard to get deep, dark colors. And this is just, is that pink? It's not pink, it is brownish tan. I guess it does remind me of the desert, but that hopefully eventually Apple figures out how they can get a much better, more vibrant colors. If what you want is a colorful phone, you'll have to stick with the regular iPhone 16 series for now, which don't use titanium. Those have much better colors. But out of the box, I kind of like it. It looks almost rose gold on the side of the phone and at an angle. And you know, that's a take it or leave it kind of feeling there. Well, as always, we've got the cover right here that lets you know about your action button, volume, power, and a brand new button that we'll get to in just a second. But before we open that up, inside the box, we have a USB-C cord. Yes, USB-C. Apple introduced USB-C as the standard port for iPhone with the iPhone 15 series. This is a nice braided cable. I kind of enjoy it. USB-C to USB-C. That's a big deal because you have faster charging now with the iPhone and USB-C. It's still not the fastest charging in the world, but it is better than it was. This seems to be nothing important at all. Some weird legal guff. The fact that you need an eSIM. So no iPhone comes with the traditional SIM card anymore. You must have an eSIM to activate. Hopefully your carrier can handle that. Most of the major carriers do, and a lot of the MVNO carriers do as well. So this is the iPhone 16 Pro. If you're thinking at first glance, it doesn't look that different from the iPhone 15 Pro, you're not wrong. Everything is 8 gigs of RAM now, even on the iPhone standard series. That's necessary for the new Apple Intelligence. We do have an improvement in the cameras. It's a 48 megapixel main camera, which was the same as last year, a 48 megapixel ultra wide, but last year the iPhone 15 Pro Max was the only one that got the improved telephoto lens. This year that comes down to the iPhone 16 Pro standard, which is what I went with here. 12 megapixel 5x telephoto lens. You don't get that with the standard iPhones. We of course move up to the A18 Pro chip, and this is a slightly larger screen. We'll get that turned on at a 6.3 inch OLED with the usual Apple naming conventions, and a 2622 by 1206 resolution at 460 ppi. Basically, it is bigger by shrinking the bezels even more, which is good and bad because that gives you less to grip on when you're not actively touching the phone, but it also gives you more to see. We get that turned on. We'll have to activate this later. You of course also have the 12 megapixel front-facing camera with the usual FaceTime features and so forth. But what's really big and different this year, probably the only major hardware difference, is the new button that you'll find on this, on this side. This is a new camera button. Yes, Apple's bringing back the camera button, something you found on lots of phones a long time ago and then went away. But it being Apple, they're going to do it different. This is more of a capacitive button, and it has the tap back feature that you find in like MacBook trackpads these days. When you press down, you will get some features that will let you choose between different camera options, and it will give you a sort of two-stage-like effect, although that's coming later. Beyond that, the difference is supposed to be the operating system, but even all of that's not available yet. Apple Intelligence isn't in this out of the box, unless you download one of the betas right now. So basically, first impressions, it's really hard to tell the difference between it and the 15 Pro, which has been this way for a while now. I mean, I still like it. It is still very much an Apple iPhone, and if you like the Apple iPhone feel, it's there for you. But beyond that, I don't know, kind of hard to spot the differences, isn't it? Just that camera button. Bring them closer together and you'll notice they're almost the same thickness. In fact, I can't feel a measurable difference when I feel back and forth between the two, which is fun because if you pull out the iPhone 13 Pro, which is just two models behind this one, this is a 15 and this is a 16, the 13 is noticeably thinner than the latest 16 generation model. It is actually quite a bit thinner. That's just how these things have changed over time. Ironically, if you pull out the box for the 15 Pro, it is noticeably harder to close, thinner than the iPhone 15 Pro box. And when you think about that, that's down to the many things that Apple has removed over the years. For instance, a long time ago, the box used to have an adapter to get from Lightning port over to the headphone jack that Apple removed from the phone. That no longer comes in the box, although starting with last year's iPhone 15 Pro, we moved over to USB-C, but theoretically, you'd still want an adapter if you want to wire in an audio jack. Apple also, of course, removed the block. You no longer get those in the box. They say that is to save on waste, since you probably already have one. Though, to get the fastest charging, you need a 30-watt adapter, so you may still need to buy one in the end. And starting with last year's iPhone 15 series, Apple removed both the SIM card and the SIM card ejector. That's right, all iPhones now require an eSIM for activation. You do it all online and all digital. This year's box removes one more thing, the classic Apple sticker. You will not find that in the box, as we've already seen. That started a few devices ago. The Vision Pro, check out my review for that by the way, also didn't come with a sticker, which felt kind of gross considering how expensive the thing is. All this does mean a thinner box that is cheaper to ship, and that's really what this is all about. Apple is just reducing its cost while maintaining the same $999 price that the iPhone Pro series has enjoyed for quite some time now. So I will need to spend a few weeks with this to really get to know what they've changed on the inside, what they've updated and changed about, and get a feel for that camera button. That's the big difference. And does it matter? Will you use it? Will I like it? I don't know, but we will find out soon. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see the full review when that publishes. And until next time, bye.